Hey guys, this is Typhorce Reacts, and I'm back to react to Death Battle, Lex Luthor versus Doctor Doom. And yeah, I completely forgot this was happening today. Like, Death Battle's coming out like so much quicker than it seemed than it was last year. But then again, last year I was still in school, so maybe like the weeks just go by much slower for me while I'm in school. But anyway, so yeah, it's yeah, Death Battle's back with Lex Luthor versus Doctor Doom, and well, I'm rooting for Doctor Doom. I mean, I think he's gonna win. Like, unless they like include some really weird stuff that usually Doctor Doom doesn't have. I don't see. That normally Lex Luthor wouldn't have. I don't see Lex winning this fight. Like, yeah, it's like they said back in Iron Man versus Lex Luthor. His weapons are based on kryptonite, great against Kryptonians, only okay against everything else. So, and meanwhile, Doctor Doom's just insanely powerful. Like, yeah, Doom's just one of those guys who's just like, yeah, he has a bit of a stupid name, but he's awesome. Oh man, I love the guy. But like, he's one of the best villains in Marvel. So, and it's like the whole reason I want him to come into the MCU is just so that when they eventually make like another Black Panther movie, he can be the main villain, because there's a storyline where he invades Wakanda, takes all of their vibranium, because apparently vibranium can amplify magic, and he essentially, yeah, he becomes one of the most powerful characters. So, anyway, I don't know exactly how that storyline went, but I know that happened, and it's great. But yeah, I'm rooting for Doctor Doom, and I think he's gonna win. So, yeah, unless they somehow pull out something Lex Luthor's gonna come with, but, I don't know. But, like, yeah, last episode was Shadow versus Ryuko, and Shadow won after having lost, so I think it's time that, that a character comes back and they lose again. So, yeah, I think that's gonna happen. So, anyway, let's just jump right in, and I'll start the video in 3, 2, 1, play.
This episode of Death Battle is
Brought to you by
Harry's. For a limited time, Harry's has an exclusive offer for
I'm trying to,
Death Battle.
hopefully, like, I'll be able to, like, use the light to, like, you know, to sync up with the video, but, yeah.
You'll get a
Anyway,
foaming shave gel, a travel cover, and a
excuse me.
travel-sized body wash.
But, yeah, then,
a pretty sweet shave whiz, and I should know, my beard refuses to be tamed by anything else.
It's an incredible deal, but act fast while supplies last. Go to harrys.com/.
Yes, get on with it. Okay, here we go. I just had lunch. I'm probably gonna be burping a lot.
Lex Luthor, CEO of LexCorp and nemesis to Superman.
And Doctor Doom, King of Latveria and Doom of the Fantastic Four.
The intellect of these two evildoers is unmatched in their own worlds.
But what happens when the geniuses of these spiteful nerds collide? He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Okay. If not, I could just sync up with that. Yeah.
In the city of Metropolis, soaring above all other structures, one can find atop the tallest building an L.
Who's the dickbag that decided to literally hang that L over everyone's head? Just the one and only Lex Luthor.
Born and raised in Smallville, Kansas, Lex's early life was complicated.
He
His
stole
father,
40
Lionel, was a
cakes,
scientist doing
and that's just
dubious
terrible.
experiments on Martian manhunters.
When the lid was cracked on this evil science operation, asses had to be covered. So Lex and his old man got a convenient memory wipe, reducing Lionel to an alcoholic and setting Lex down a path to get away from his deadbeat dad.
Well,
right
doesn't
there
wash
with
his
you,
hands
bud.
because he's
this is comics,
evil.
it's just Lex's story in one continuity.
In another, he's a mad scientist. In another, he's a self-made billionaire. And in yet another, he was friends with Superboy until Superboy made him bald. No wonder this guy's so cynical.
Regardless of which Lex we're talking about, he hates Superman. In his eyes, if Superman continues to exist, humanity will become weak and reliant on him, and ultimately perish. Supposedly.
Ever since
supposedly.
Zeus flew into town, he's been Lex's undoing.
But also his driving force in creating technology, chief among them being his war suit.
This bad boy comes equipped with loads of goodies: a force field, electroblasts, missiles, a chest laser, and wrist blades for all your Batman shanking needs.
Of
Lex
course.
has utilized many different energy sources for his suits, but his newest and greatest is the Mother Box.
Oh,
a
boy.
nigh inexhaustible piece of new god technology with which Lex can create energy beams, repair his suit, and teleport via quantum folding.
The suit can survive a planet exploding and lets old Lex go toe-to-toe with Superman himself.
Well, it is questionable if his suit is directly comparable to Superman going all out, especially
Yeah.
with his reliance on kryptonite.
Yeah.
But Lex has used it to fight with other DC powerhouses.
Like
Fair
this
enough.
orange bug man Larfleeze, who's basically
Oh,
a
yeah,
one-man
Larfleeze.
labor corps. You know, that band of green boot stompers who can cross the universe in under an hour.
Knowing DC has a universe at least 100 trillion light years across,
Oh,
this
boy.
would require a speed over 5 quintillion times the speed of light.
Or how about the time Green Lantern Kyle Rayner held back the Big Frickin' Bang?
Much of Lex's tech is relegated to the war suit, but he does have on-hand gadgets too, such as a heat ray, robot replicas called Lexbots, and a special
Of
barrier
course.
that temporarily turns anything it touches two-dimensional.
It turns you 2D, huh? That sounds like a weeb's wet dream. How does that work?
It's rather simple, actually. By applying higher dimensional physics to a simple 2D grid, we can replicate and place the form of a three-dimensional object into a lower, flattened form that...
Make it stop! Make it stop! Wow, I knew the all squirrel diet was a good idea. Unlike Lex's 80s tech, he's not all two-dimensional. Sure, he's had his squabbles with Superman, but after Supes died, not when he punched the gray guy when he blew up this punk Denny, he gained a newfound respect for the Man of Steel and took up his mantle. Maybe he isn't the bald psycho everyone thinks he is.
Doubtful. Lex's actions, both good and bad, tend to stem from one thing. He really wants to be Superman himself.
He jelly. It would explain why he made the Everyman Project, an experiment meant to turn normies into superhumans.
Unfortunately, Lex's genes were not compatible. He still went through the procedure, but even after some voluntary organ harvesting, he only had 6 months to live.
Oh.
Wow, Lex really does
Fun.
want to be Superman, even if it kills him.
But if Lex can't be Superman, he might as well make himself the one person that super citizen has to answer to. Which is why Lex decided to, what else, run for president.
Because of course he
Can you
did.
Imagine a president who's an evil billionaire and hates aliens. So unrealistic.
Lex was already a nihilist with few real attachments, and became all the worse when he learned he could neither be
could be worse,
nor
could be Biden.
control Superman. Take, for example, the time he made a cure for his sister's terminal
That's not even a
illness,
joke.
Well, that doesn't seem so bad.
and then reinfected her with that same illness seconds later, just to prove he could.
Jesus Christ! Never mind, he's evil. Why would anyone work for this guy?
Lex's outlook on life actually gained a big following. After traveling millions of years into the future, because comics,
Yeah,
Lex
because
saw
comics,
a
yeah.
world where his goals became reality, where people quit aspiring to the impossible standards of superheroes, instead embracing who they were deep down, selfish and greedy animals.
So he literally inspired a philosophy around being the opposite of Superman.
Yeah.
Apparently. Isn't it ironic, though, that even those who chose to follow Lex's ideals called this philosophy doom?
Huh. I guess Lutheran was already taken. Anyways, his fanboys from the future might consider it their doom, but to Lex, his ideals are everything. And to his credit, they have seen him through some pretty heavy stuff.
Like
Yeah.
outsmarting Brainiac, getting tortured by Joker.
And getting shot out of a helicopter by a gorilla. Don't worry, somehow he got better.
Even completely
Yeah,
stripped
it's weird.
of everything, standing before an almighty god, Lex Luthor will continue to defend his ideals. This harbinger of doom is truly beyond comprehension. Or so he says.
Who is it, Superman? Lex Luthor, the greatest criminal mind of our time.
At
All
first
right, now
glance,
Dr. Doom.
Latveria appears to be a humble nation located in the center of Europe, but within its borders may be the greatest threat the world has ever known.
That threat being
You see-
the malevolent king, Dr. Doom.
See, I wanted
But
Dr.
Doom
Doom to
did not
fight
start out
Black
as a
Adam
king.
simply because they're
Born
both
as a
rulers of the
Romani,
country. They
Victor
use
Von
evil
Doom had
magic
a
stuff,
tumultuous childhood.
and
After
yeah,
his mother's soul
they
was
just
taken
they
by
just
the
seem like
demon
they're
Mephisto,
they
and
just
his
have a
father
lot
died
more in
on the run
common
from
and
an
all
evil
that.
parent. Doom did what any mad scientist would do and began making inventions.
like his own robot replicas and Marvel's favorite retcon device, the
Really
Doom
hates
Bots.
squirrels. Good to
That
know.
sounds familiar.
The technical wonders he made, while also scamming people, were so great, the Empire State University offered him a scholarship.
And so began
Second
a good
in
old
line for
college
Sorcerer
try by
Supreme.
There, Doom built a device to communicate with his mother in the underworld. But because of a miscalculation that may or may not be thanks to the thing, it blew up in his face. Literally.
It's okay, though. After the explosion gave him a nasty scar, Doom ventured to Tibet, where some monks did him a solid and helped him build a suit of armor.
Made from a mastery of science and mysticism, Doom's titanium armor goes beyond the wonders of ordinary technology and into the absurd.
It's
Oh,
the
yeah.
Swiss Army knife of power armors, complete with electrical blast,
This is so
a device
rare.
that scrambles
Yeah,
brain
it's
neurons,
just-
and a laser
yeah.
staff that doubles as a technovirus.
At full power, the suit can break through an adamantine coffin. And
Oh, wow.
allegedly contains pieces of the cross that Jesus Christ himself was crucified on.
Just in case a pesky Dracula comes your way, which he did. With this suit, Doom
Yeah.
easily conquered Latveria and overthrew the Baron who gave him so much trouble years back. Aha, take that, asshole!
Nice.
Seeing how prosperous his rule was, Doom thought if he could make Latveria better by conquering it, why not make the whole world better by conquering it?
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
the Panther God did say he should. Too bad he was
Yeah.
overstepped by the Fantastic Four.
And their leader, Reed Richards, also known as Mr. Fantastic.
To put it lightly, Doom freaking hates him. One
Yeah,
time
fair enough.
When Doom was being pulled into hell, rather than try to escape eternal torment, all he wanted to do was burn and scar Reed's face.
To Doom, Reed Richards is a man of unquenchable
Yeah, and when he was
vanity
in
and
hell,
unmitigated
he,
arrogance,
like, looked upon all
consumed
these
by his
demons
own
and went,
ego at the cost of everyone around him.
okay.
Yeah, I think
So,
Doom might be projecting a bit there.
Though he has failed many
And
times
then
to conquer the world,
com-
Doom
obliterated,
certainly
like, a
has the
quarter of
arsenal to
hell.
do so.
Like,
Antimatter guns, bombs that transmute things to
How?
carbon, a molecular expander that turns tiny particles into boulders, and time shift bombs that'll send you several seconds into the past.
oh,
But His
wow.
most interesting gadget is the Cosmic Power Siphon. While not particularly fashionable, at least before he implemented it into his suit,
Of
the
course.
siphon has absorbed and stolen the powers of numerous cosmic entities.
You might be asking, if Doom has all these gadgets, why doesn't he use them more often? Well, in his own words, Doom's reasons are his own. Do not question them.
But Doom is
fair
more
enough.
than just a scientist. He's also a magician. In fact, a contender for Sorcerer Supreme. As such, he can employ all manner of magic spells. Barriers, teleportation, mystical energy blasts, etc.
And if he ever wants to Freaky Friday a foe, he can use a mind swap technique he took from the Ovoids to switch bodies.
Like this.
Oh, how do you walk with these scrawny legs? This one isn't even a gun.
Why are there 6 of you? Am I drunk? Dummy! Change us back.
It should come as no surprise that a multi-classing nerd like Doom has taken on some of Marvel's toughest heroes.
He's faster than
Sort of
Reed
squad his own
Richards,
Doom
who
bots.
reacted to interstellar beams fired by Galactus, and has even deflected Thor's hammer.
The same hammer that flew Thor across the universe in seconds.
Knowing Marvel's universe has a diameter of at least 1 trillion light years, Mjolnir must have been moving over 2 quintillion times
Oh,
the
wow.
speed of light.
And
That's a
not
lot.
even getting into Doom's battles with the Green Universe Clapper, the Hulk.
Oh,
Or the
yeah.
no-holds-barred
Oh, wow.
punch he took from Sentry with only 7% of his suit's power left.
With so much tech and magic, it's a wonder Doom ever loses.
Well, for all his achievements, Doom does have one insurmountable weakness. Squirrels.
I knew it! Nobody's a match for
course.
those little bastards but me.
Oh, yeah, Squirrel
Hey,
Girl.
As long as he stays on
Yeah.
Bucktooth's good side, he should be alright.
He also has a bad habit of just losing godlike power at the worst of times.
Like when his control over the power cosmic was taken by a plot-convenient cosmic energy-stealing super airplane.
Still,
course.
Doom persevered and became the god emperor of everything. Until Mr. Fantastic stole his powers away.
Of course.
Boy, if Doom already hated Reed, what did he think of him after that?
Surprisingly, Doom's time as a god caused an epiphany of sorts. He looked back on his actions, his ego finally shattered, and in his reflection was left with a desire to fix his ways.
So he took up the role of Iron Man of all people.
Really?
Stopped being so world-conquering and became a good guy.
Weird.
Just for a little bit, don't worry, he was back to being a maniacal would-be conqueror soon enough.
Of course.
Comic book status quo.
Yeah.
It seems a literal multiverse scale intervention couldn't keep Doom from being Doom.
Your plan to destroy them has failed, Master.
Wow, using the same clip? Okay.
Dr. Doom does not fail.
Alright.
All right, the combatants are set. We've run the data through all possibilities.
Well, they did more calculations for Lex, so I'm going to say Lex is going to lose.
You know, it takes a
Or at
lot
least
of
they
bravery
showed
to
more
beat one of our
calculations for
death
Lex, I
battles.
think.
I mean, it's in the name.
So,
Death battle,
yeah,
fight to the death.
Yeah, it definitely takes a lot of confidence to make that difficult decision. But you know it isn't a hard decision.
But yeah,
If
it's
you use
definitely a
confidence
closer
in the
fight than I
bedroom,
thought.
they'll choose Tampa.
But,
That was one heck of a segue, Boomstick.
Yeah,
But
it's,
alright, this episode of Death Battle is sponsored by Blue Chew.
Blue Chew is a unique
But,
online
yeah,
service that brings the same active
I'm still
ingredients
rooting for
as
Dr.
Viagra and
Doom,
Cialis straight to your door at a fraction of
and
the
I still
cost
think he's
and
gonna
a
win.
tool for.
Blue
But,
Chew's tablets combat all forms of
oh
ED
boy.
and can help men gain extra confidence for when it's time
Yeah,
to perform. Blue Chew is an online prescription service, and you know what that means.
well, time to see if
Visit
Dr.
to the doctor's
Dr. Doom
office,
wins
no
again
awkward
and Lex Luthor
conversations,
loses
no
again,
waiting in line at the
or if
pharmacy,
it's
and
the
it comes in
opposite
a
and
free
Dr.
package.
Doom comes
So
back
even
just to
your mail
lose
couriers
and
who know
Lex
all your
Luthor comes
secrets
back to
won't
win.
know what's up,
But,
or not up, so to
I mean, I
speak.
don't really care too much, but at the same time, I love Dr. Doom. He's great. He's a great character, so yeah. I don't really have anything else to say. I'm just waiting for this ad to be over.
It's all online.
And we've
But,
got a
yeah.
special deal for our viewers.
Blah,
Try
blah,
Blue Chew
come
free when
on.
you use our promo code BATTLE at checkout.
Come on.
Just pay $5 shipping. That's bluechew.com, promo code BATTLE
Come
to receive your
on.
first month free. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring this episode. But
Right now, it's time for a death battle! Okay. Alright, let's do this. Oh, it's 2D animation.
Oh, a visitor?
Mr. Luthor.
Oh,
your
and
company
Sprite, but
has
yeah.
invaluable resources for the people of Latveria. I will be seizing them.
Latveria? What an exquisite place to start a corporatocracy.
Alright, let's do this.
You wretch!
Pathetic.
A mechanical replica.
It's called a Lex bot, you knuckle-dragging buffoon.
Its design is rather ingenious. Not as ingenious as mine, of course. But enough talk.
Of course,
Let us
yeah.
end these charades.
With pleasure.
Oh, the 2D thing!
Two-dimensional morphographic technology. I haven't perfected it, but it's more than enough to exterminate an imbecile like you. Enough to exterminate an
Oh,
imbecile like you.
he rewound time. Just for a few seconds, though.
What?
Fool! You fell for my time shift bomb. Now, foot dive! Foot dive!
Foot dive!
Got you. What a farce. Impossible.
Possible? That word has no meaning for someone like me. What about you?
It's marvelous and wasted on your incompetence.
Oh. Oh.
What kind of a man are
A Superman.
Oh boy, here we go.
Still hiding behind this hideous mask, Tin Man? Let's show your true face the light of day!
Oh.
you? Don't you see it? That mask is my true face.
Oh. Oh!
This power, it's like that of the gods. Beneath me.
Nice.
I've heard of handing
Got
someone the L, but never pinning him to it.
Having
Yeah.
a slight speed advantage and a stronger suit by most measures, Lex was able to hold his own with Doom for a time.
And sure, Lex could counter some of Doom's arsenal, but he couldn't defend against being transmuted to chrome, being blasted with antimatter, or getting his nerves scrambled from the inside.
What's
Ah.
more, Lex's mind has been swapped before, once with Superman, funny enough.
Meaning if things got desperate, there was nothing to stop Doom from pulling a Captain Ginyu on Lex and swapping their minds.
Lex's
Okay.
mother box was certainly a powerful device, but he never quite mastered all of its potential. Not to
Okay.
mention, Doom's ace in the hole, the cosmic power siphon, has drained and stolen similar energy sources time and time again.
Galactus, Silver Surfer, and even the friggin' Beyonder. Yeah,
Oh.
I know this mulleted doofus doesn't look like much, but he apparently has millions of times the power of the entire Marvel multiverse. And the
Oh.
siphon took all of it. There's no way the Mother Box could stand up to a device like that.
Thus, it was only a question of if Doom could bide his time before turning the tables on Lex.
And given all the beatdowns he's survived from Marvel heavy hitters like Hulk and Sentry,
Yeah.
I'd say Doom had that time.
Lex's tech was an impressive challenge that had the stats to contend with Doom. But against Doom's bewildering gadgets, magical trickery, and power-stealing siphon, the advantage was in the Doctor's court.
The
Yep, there we
King of
go.
Latveria claimed
And
his
even if
victory.
even if
Hopefully
Lex did have
isn't a
Superman's
sore
power,
loser.
Superman's power
The winner
has no
is Dr.
protection
Doom.
against magic. So, yeah, there we go.
Thanks for watching this episode of Death Battle.
All right,
Go
what's
back
next
to see
then?
previews of our upcoming matchups. If you want to watch more stuff, you can
Okay,
click the
come
boxes
on,
right
let's do
around
this.
here,
Come on.
And you can always pick up some DV merch at store.roosterteeth.com.
Okay. Oh, that's a Tekken guy, right? Okay. Heihachi versus Geese. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who Geese is. I'm gonna guess Tekken versus Street Fighter. Not sure. I'm not sure who either of those guys are. But yeah, yeah, or maybe it's a King of Fighters person. Who knows? I'm sure maybe some of you will enlighten me. But yeah, it's yeah. So, yeah, I don't really have anything else I can say. I'm glad Doctor Doom won. Oh man, and I called it. I rooted for him and all that. So yeah, yeah, I don't have anything else I can say. So yeah, anyway, yeah, I think I'm just gonna end the video here. So yeah, till next time, guys. See ya.